Duelyst, the tactical cardless card game, officially launches this past week. Aeria Games announces a new Anime MMORPG from X-Legend. Gameforge is also working on bringing an awesome-looking anime game over to the West, and the almighty Dreadnought heads into closed beta. What's going on, guys? James Blonde here with MMOHuts.com with a quick weekly recap for MMO news and announcements for the week ending May 2nd, 2016. We've got some newly announced games this week. Hopefully we all can get excited for that. But starting out the news is the announcement and new gameplay launch trailer for Duelyst, the tactical cardless card game with crazy cool visuals and really unique gameplay mechanics. This game is created to be accessible for all players, whether you're a casual gamer or a player that's looking for the ranked ladder. It brings together the depth of tactical combat with the endless possibilities of collectible card games, all in matches that last between 5 and 10 minutes. I can't say I had a blast making the first look for this game several months ago. I'm not one to seek out games like this, but it turned out a lot better than I expected. As of this past Thursday, the 27th, the game is launched on both PC and Mac, so you can check it out yourself. But in the meantime, check out my first look and the game profile at MMOHuts.com to get a feel for what to expect. Next up, we've got a newly announced MMORPG from InQuake Softworks, which is an indie development studio, and the game is called Warhold. This is a dark fantasy action arena game with MMO and strategy elements. We don't have any gameplay as of yet, just the announcement trailer you see playing here, but the game is actually built on the Unreal Engine 4, set in a very dark world where you rule and develop your own city-state using ancient knowledge and deadly spells. According to the official press release, with Warhold, you've got a compelling, deep, and well-developed political system where players shape the world around them and influence the economy by their actions, not to mention the team-focused PvP. With finely tuned character progression and players battling out collectively in arenas, you will be constantly fighting to reign overall. They just announced the pre-alpha, and that could probably explain the lack of gameplay footage, so keep a lookout for more information on the game as it becomes available. Heads up, MMO and anime fans, the week before last I mentioned Aeria Games will be publishing Bless in the West, which is cool, and this past week, they announced they're bringing Twin Saga here as well. Twin Saga is another X-Legend game, so the same developers as Our Kingdom, Eden Eternal, and recently Dragonmon Hunter, and in this game, according to the announcement, players will dive into a world teeming with life and challenging PvP and PvE combat. Now, the game's mobile housing system, which is its biggest feature, offers players a customizable home base called a Tera cottage that can be progressively upgraded as they make their way through the game. Now, these Tera cottages actually roam swiftly through the central continent. They literally walk, as you can tell from the gameplay trailer, and these walking houses can be equipped with tools for developing your professions and crafting, like greenhouses, cooking stations, an alchemy lab, and more. Apparently, you can freely swap between the classes as well. You can definitely tell it's an X-Legend game, though, by the visuals alone, and the enemies themselves kind of look like Dragonmon. Oh well, I guess their games sort of end up blurring together anyway. Hopefully Twin Saga will have some cool gameplay mechanics that we don't know about just yet, but you can already sign up for the closed beta from their newly launched website, so it shouldn't be too long before we find that out. We've got another new game announcement this past week as Gameforge announces its cooperation with Lion Games to bring SoulWorker to North America and Europe. SoulWorker is a South Korean anime-style action MMORPG, and the focus of this game is the high-energy battles in a third-person perspective. You're able to use the mouse and keyboard or a controller, which kind of indicates the level of action here, and the game takes place in a post-apocalyptic yet futuristic world. Every character has access to a particularly special emotion, such as revenge or madness, which then defines their class and their weapon. Using this emotion, they can harness special abilities that distinguish them as soul workers. Now, the game runs on the Havoc Vision Engine Plus, so as you can tell, the visuals are really nice. Actually looks like you're playing an anime. Kinda looks like an over-the-shoulder version of Rusty Hearts, which is also a cool game. Too bad it shut down. No mention yet as to when we can see access to the game, and they don't have much in terms of an English website, but all I can say is it looks pretty legit. I'll definitely keep you guys up to date on this one. In the meantime, find out what we do know at the site post link in the description below. On a similar note, KOG announced this past week the closed beta date for HeroWarz. Founders Packs are available now with plenty more information updated on their website. The first closed beta test will start on May 18th and run through the 22nd, with signups already started, but they don't automatically qualify you entry into the closed beta, of course, but Founders Packs do. These Founders Packs start at $9.99 with a $35.99 and a $60 option, and each one comes with VIP membership for 15, 30, and 60 days, respectively. Not to mention exclusive costumes, accessories, in-game cash currency, and an exclusive mount for the highest tier pack. The VIP membership that I mentioned is strictly an optional convenience service and gets you things like extra potions, an extra reward for doing some story missions, and a 3% increase in movement speed, HP recovery, EXP, and systems along those lines. DizzyVW recently talked to KOG about the game, and he told me that it's kind of like Devillion and Marvel Heroes had a baby, and that baby got addicted to crack. That alone would kind of make me want to check it out. And speaking of crack, meanwhile in Tera, all you Hello Kitty fans out there will be happy to know that there's going to be some Hello Kitty themed items in Tera's shop until May 19th. Why? Because they can, somehow. I guess they rented the license or something. So if this is your thing, have fun with that and try not to die from cuteness overdose. Next up, a new gameplay preview trailer came in this past week for Master x Master, the new action-style MOBA from NCSoft. The new trailer you see playing here explains that what makes MXM an action MOBA is the fact that you have full WASD movement controls for your character, and the tag team system, which gives you the ability to swap between two completely different characters whenever you want. So when you start up a match, you actually choose two characters, along with a choice of several different abilities and weapon presets. So with all that, there are thousands of different combinations you can choose from when it comes to selecting both your characters and all of their presets. The Masters, as the champions are called in this game, are some that you're going to definitely recognize from other NCSoft games, and so far there are 30 Masters in the game, along with some that are new to the game entirely. They're not in any other game. The gameplay looks very similar to Heroes of the Storm in some cases as well, but from what the new video here explains, there seems to be just enough unique features to make the game stand out. Just a little bit in the overflowing market of MOBAs that we already know exists. Guess we're gonna have to see how it plays out. As another reminder, NCSoft also launched the Shattered Empire update for Blade & Soul this past week that included improvements in localization, the previously teased new group content, and floors 9 through 15 of Mushin's Tower. Along with that, we also see the new Whirlwind Valley arena for PvP players. Bug fixes arrive as well, including a fix to the dancing mode issue, as well as new sliders to reduce monster and background quality for those with lower-end toasters running the game. Head over to the site posted at MMOHuts.com for more details and links to the official patch notes. And speaking of improvements, the Reaper's Revenge update is now live in Skyforge, bringing with it numerous additions and improvements, including newly introduced gamepad support, which can definitely make the gameplay feel a lot more exciting. This update also brings in distortion vectors that unlock in the respecting army's invasion atlas, so progressing further in the evasion atlas will allow these vectors to grow, earning players even more stats than they did before. Besides that, we also see mount upgrades that make it so that way your mounts can move faster, spawn quicker, and plenty other things. Special events are happening right now in-game, such as the Days of Glory event, which is shown by the trailer you see playing here, letting players compete in war games for special rewards. Sounds interesting. Next up, an update came in this past week for the free-to-play launch of Tree of Savior. As I mentioned, the launch was delayed earlier due to some necessary adjustments on pricing after an upset in the economy and early access servers, and now the developers have decided the game will officially launch on May 10th. It is known. Also last week, we see the new trailer for SkySaga's Alpha 8, which is now live. This time around, they've added new Forest Mastery Adventures, which are group adventures that bring a more narrative and storyline approach to the existing gameplay. And according to the developers, there are new locations and new assets associated with these Mastery Adventures. Also in Alpha 8, we see the Blueprint system that lets players build structures and save them so that way other players can buy them and place them in their worlds and build their own structures based off of smaller structures or larger structures, however you want to do it. So now the creative players can offer builds to other players and benefit from it, and everyone can focus on what they find fun in the game. These are just some of the new features in Alpha 8. Now the game has been in alpha forever now, it seems, but I can say it seems like it's progressing in all the right ways. This past week, I mentioned Magicka Wizard Wars closing down soon, but this week, we see a similar game show up new. This new multiplayer action game is called BattleSouls, and it's from the indie development studio known as Pixeleap. As you can tell from the announcement trailer playing here, the gameplay is fairly fast-paced, and you can also switch between 3 of the 5 available classes freely in battle, giving you both melee and ranged combat options. Seems like it could be a really fun arena-style game. Definitely reminds me of a third-person version of Magic: Wizard Wars, which could be really cool. The game is expected to launch free-to-play on Steam on May 12th. And finally, for a last bit of news, Greybox announced Founders Packs for the almighty Dreadnought, along with the start of closed beta testing. Now, this game is freaking sweet. You get to pilot massive Star Destroyer-worthy ships armed with planet-shaking weapons for tactical 5-on-5 warfare in space. The game is somewhat similar to Fractured Space, but seemingly faster paced and a little bit more straightforward in my opinion. Closed beta started on the 29th, so if you want access, you'll have to sign up at playdreadnought.com for a chance to gain access, or you can pick up one of 2 Founders Packs available starting at $9.99. I've played it every single time I was at PAX South, which there's only been 2, but my experience has gotten increasingly better each time. Definitely worth checking out. Anyway, guys, that's about it for all the major MMO news and announcements for this week. By the way, we've got a closed beta key giveaway up as of today for Atlas Reactor. So if you saw my first look and you want to check out the game yourself, head over to the giveaway section at MMOHuts.com to pick up a key. As always, pick up more information about the news featured in the recap from the links in the description below, and hang out at MMOHuts.com for plenty more up-to-the-hour gaming news. Feel free to discuss the news in the comments below, and follow us on Facebook and Twitter. But until next time, guys, that's going to be it for me. I'm James Blonde. See you out there, gamers.